What is up, people out there? It's your boy Diehard Rex. I'm back with another video, and this video seems to be a special one. It's like the ultra builds which I had in season 1. I'll link that down below. It's a pretty old video. It had some good specs and stuff, but anyway. So, say for example, you want to do some live streaming, probably some light, probably some games, probably Fortnite. I mean, that's the hype, right? Um, and you want to have a pretty powerful processor that you can overclock and a really good graphics card that can allow you to play at 1080p high settings and even edit. I mean, this is pretty good for editing, gaming, and some light live streaming, not like intense. I mean, after all, you need to shell out a lot of cash for like a really good live stream machine, but this is a good budget one. Anyway, let's get into the video. So for the CPU, we have the i7-8700K. It is a 3.7 base clock CPU with a 4.7 gigahertz boost clock. That is pretty good, and the advantage is it's a K CPU, so you can overclock it, and it's a 6 core, which gives the advantage of having 12 threads because the hyperthreading. That is good for editing Premiere Pro, Sony Vegas. Heck, even live streaming probably the easiest thing with this, because you can probably dedicate 2 cores to like live streaming, like handling the whole uploading or whatever, and then like the rest of the cores can be put into gaming. So this is going for $347, and it's a pretty good price for a very good CPU. So for the IO cooler, we have the NZXT X62 Rev 2 240mm radiator. It has liquid cooling. It is liquid cooling. It's pretty good for overclocking, because when you're overclocking your CPU, there's a lot of like heat that's being exhausted, and like you need to make sure that your CPU is cool enough to maintain a stable clock. So guarantees a low temp, and the cool part is it comes with RGB lighting, so pretty cool. I mean, RGB is pretty much the main thing now. Everyone's gonna be like, okay, I'll give money for my CPU, GPU, RAM, whatever. Let's not forget RGB lighting. It's going for $155.89. Now for the motherboard, I decided to go down a different path, and I'm choosing the Asus Prime Z370P 80X motherboard. It's pretty good. I mean, you can see on the screen right now, you can see the images. It's very nice. Reason why I went with this is because I've noticed like people like Linus Tech Tips, a pretty big tech channel, like really massive. They recommend this, and I agree with them, because for such a low price you're getting a lot for like this. You get an M.2, you cover I'm pretty sure it's even SLI compatible. So it's an 80X form factor. It has 4 DIMM slots, and it can support up to 64 gigs. So say for example you got a bit of extra cash and probably were out of the RAM situation, we could probably upgrade this to 64 gigs or 32. It's completely up to you. And let's not forget the aesthetic. Anyway, it's going for $114.79. Now for the RAM, we got the Ripjaws 5 16 gig DDR4 kit. It's a 2x8 gig kit, and it's going for $159.89. Now this RAM kit was the best one I could find for price to performance on the market. It is clocked at a frequency of 2800 megahertz, and that's pretty fast for gaming. It's $9.99 to the gigabyte. It's decent. I mean, afterwards, I'm guessing in a few months' time the RAM prices will stabilize, and we're probably looking at cheaper RAM kits and for better performance. It's good for gaming because a higher clock, and say for example we're gonna play like this Black Ops 4 beta coming out. The beta is there in fact, and apparently it's a CPU and GPU intensive. You pretty much covered with 16 gigs, and by the way, 16 gigabytes of RAM is like pretty much the standard of PC gaming by far now. First it was 8 gigs, but then now we just say 16 gigs, because games like Battlefield 1, which started the whole trend of like having 16 gigs of RAM, ever since then people are just like, okay, we need 16 gigs of RAM. So now moving on to the storage. For the SSD, we have the Western Digital Blue 250 gig M.2 SSD. It's a pretty fast SSD. I mean, like I said, I never knew Western Digital made SSDs and M.2 SSDs. The reason why I chose this, and you can see there's like a difference when I explain, like, don't get the one which is more expensive than this. There are two types of M.2 SSDs. There was like the last gen and this gen. Last gen is slow, but this gen is like really fast and like pretty much the best. And of course it's gonna get better down the line. It's 25 cents to the gigabytes, which is pretty good for an M.2 SSD. I mean, if you're gonna go for like a 970 Evo or whatsoever, you're gonna probably have to break the bank if you wanted to get like a 250 gig, and then you're gonna have to sacrifice on the HDD. So it's ideal for booting the OS, and it's going for $62.99. That's pretty good. Now for the HDD, the usual, the bang for the buck, Western Digital Blue 2TB hard drive. The reason why I chose 2TB is because we're going with such a massive build. Why not go for 2TB? I think 2TB is pretty much future-proof, kinda, like not that future-proof. I mean, I don't know how the games are going to be in the future, because I mean, if you look now, the games like what I don't know, it's just there's games now that are like massive in size. I can only imagine what Battlefield 5 might be. It could probably be close to like 150 gigs, and we're gonna be like, oh shoot, what we're gonna do? So it's 3 cents to the gigabyte, which is really good, like perfect. And as always, I mean, of course, hard drives are gonna be cheaper. It's going for $59.88. Now for the GPU, the one and only, the one you've been waiting for. Pretty much, it's the EVGA GTX 1070 superclocked ACX GPU. Pretty good. GTX 1070. You can do live stream with it. You can play games like PUBG, probably on high, Fortnite on, I think it's Epic. I'm not so sure. So it's an 8 gig. It has 8 gigs of GDDR5 VRAM. Pretty good. This 1180 hasn't been announced yet, but there are rumors it's coming soon. But as far as I'm concerned, a GTX 1070 to me is still the standard of budget ultra gaming. So it has a 1.59 gigahertz base clock with a 1.78 gigahertz boost clock, and that's pretty good. I mean, you can overclock these graphics cards, plus it's a super clock, so you can overclock this, and it's perfect. I mean, it's the new super clock ACX, not the old one which used to like burn and stuff, the updated thermal kits and stuff. I remember that time when people were going ham about it. Anyway, it's 10.51 inches in length. It's going for $379.99, which is a stable price, considering that last year, if I was to make this video, we would probably be looking at a price close to $2,000. So think about it. It's perfect. And I'm happy that these prices are stabilizing now. It's still not there yet, but once it gets there, trust me, it's gonna be perfect. I mean, like I would still buy Pascal, because Pascal was like the turning point of Nvidia, in my opinion, of course. So now for the case, we have the Fractal Design Meshify C. It's the black edition one, and it's perfect. I love it. It's beautiful. I love the front part where like has this sort of like it's hard to explain, but it's perfect, like front. And the side panel, it's tempered glass, which is perfect. Even cheap, perfect. Everything about it is perfect, and it's an ADX mid-tower PC. It can support any form factor, like mini ITX, even, like wow, like mini ITX up to ADX. And it has a maximum GPU lens support of 12.4 inches. And this case is going for $96.78. Considering that any case that was this good, having a tempered glass and all, is pretty much like above $120 to me. I see it like that. And the Fractal Design, it doesn't disappoint. Now for the power supply, we got the EVGA Supernova G3 750 watt PSU. It is an 80 plus gold certified modular PSU. It is future proof because you can probably upgrade to a 1080 pretty soon. Even a 1080 Ti, you still have room to overclock. That depends on like how far you're gonna overclock it. Like even if it's 5 GHz, I'm pretty sure there's enough headroom for a 1080 to be there. The best part is like it's an 80 plus gold certified, so rest assured knowing that your PC won't fail or whatsoever. And it's modular and has two 8 like what 4 8-pin connectors, so you can probably be looking at like a SLI setup with a 1070. Like I'd suggest I'd get 1070 SLI. That's perfect enough. So that's going for $78.05, and that brings us to a total of $1,455.26, which is perfect because, I mean, at this point, getting a PC for 1.5K is perfect because you'd know the parts are going to be high quality. Like you can live stream with these builds which are like in that price range, and if you probably give yourself some more headroom and push to a 2000 build, you could probably fit in a 1080 Ti for all I can say. I mean, you can have a 1080 Ti, you can have an i7 and like 16 gigs and like a perfect SSD. It's how it is. I mean, I'm happy that like prices are returning to normal, so these builds aren't gonna be like very expensive but low end parts. It's like of course it's gonna be expensive still, but the parts are now gonna be reasonable enough. So that's all. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Dislike if you didn't like it. Either way, it's feedback and it's good enough. So yeah, let me know what you think about this video. I'm open to suggestions, and yes, you may even notice that my editing has gone pretty bad, rusty in fact. I haven't had the time to like do anything like this, and I'm on holidays, so I decided to take the advantage of doing so. Thank you guys. This is Direct signing out. Peace.